Hey, welcome back to the Greater You. Today's video, we're discussing something that's going to set the stage for the next part of the Perma Plus model that we've been discussing. Although we're not going to talk about it specifically, that this is setting the stage for the A in the Perma Plus model. We'll do a different video on that. We want to talk about a problem that would get in the way of anything on the Perma model, including the A that we'll be discussing. And that is this fabulous little term here, hedonistic adaptation. So, as you know, we talk about a lot of principles from positive psychology. Here's one of the enemies to happiness that we need to learn how to vanquish. So, what hedonistic adaptation is, it's the brain's tendency to adapt to cool things in our lives, to wane in its gratitude for those cool things or experiences or people. So, hedonistic adaptation is an enemy to happiness because it leads to ingratitude and neglect of the things that matter to us. So really easy examples of this are you can think about the last time you got your shiny new car, or the cool new house, or the cool new condo, or the really cool laptop, or the new cell phone, or whatever. When we get a new thing, and we're pretty excited about it at first, and that happiness around that stoke around that object doesn't tend to last. And the reason that it doesn't tend to last is because of hedonistic adaptation. Your brain is a brilliant, beautiful device. It's so amazing. It's a storage thing. It's a problem-solving device. It's a miracle, right? However, it's got some flaws, and one of the flaws that it has is that in its ability to adapt, it becomes adapted to the new norm of whatever is going on in your life. So if you get that promotion that you've been looking for, and all of a sudden you're making, six figures for the first time in your life or something like that, it's going to feel really good at first. But then as your brain adapts, all of a sudden it's like, ah, man, I don't think this is enough. I need to make, like double what I'm making right now, or I need to make seven figures, right? If we let hedonistic adaptation go off the rails, it will run our lives and cause us to engage in consumerism or, one-upmanship, where we're always trying to keep up with the Joneses, or trying to push ourselves to do things that we're not ready for, we're not financially capable of, incurring extra debt. So it shows up in a lot of places. You might find yourself wrecking a relationship, ending a relationship with someone that's absolutely amazing because you've adapted to them. And so that new shiny new sparkle that you felt in that earlier in the relationship has faded. People call that the honeymoon phase being over. Guess what? Hedonistic adaptation is likely a component of that honeymoon phase ending. So this is a problem in relationships, it's a problem in life. So being aware of it definitely helps, which is why we're doing this video, to help you understand that your brain has a tendency to adapt. And it's great that it can adapt to a lot of things in life. That's a good survival mechanism to be able to adapt and flow and ebb and flow with things. But becoming complacent with the things that we previously were grateful for is not a great quality of adaptation. So the solution to this is massive. It is gratitude. Gratitude in spades will help to push back against hedonistic adaptation. So say you're in that relationship with that loved one and you're about a year in and you're starting to wonder if this relationship is going to last. Check yourself on the adaptation factor. If it's a healthy relationship, right? If there's good communication, if there's been lots of love and lots of connection and fun and good experiences and aligned goals and all the very important stuff that, by the way, we do a ton of coaching for relationships. So if you need some help on that, hit us up. But if the relationship checks the boxes and you're just like, yeah, but something's missing, well, you may have adapted. You may be missing gratitude. So I remember Stephen Covey, one of my heroes of the many coaches out there. He was one of the greats. And I remember there was a seminar he did on marriage. And after the seminar, he was speaking with a participant. This guy came up and he really thanked him for what he shared. But then he said, "Can I ask you a quick question?" Got his attention, and they talked for a minute. And in that conversation, basically, and I'm probably slaughtering the story. Hopefully, I can give it a little bit of justice. The gist of it was this: the guy said, "Look, everything you said is great about how to make marriages and relationships strong, but the problem is I just don't love my wife anymore. So what you were saying doesn't apply." And Stephen's response I'll never forget this. He said something to the effect of, "Well, I don't think you heard anything that I said in the seminar because what I said to you is that you need to go love your wife. Love is an action word. You need to show her gratitude. You need to be present for her and do all the things you used to do to show her love when you were first getting together, and you'll find that you love her again. That will wake your love back up." The guy was like, "Whoa, okay." And he left, got her flat, got roses, and headed home to, try and start showing some love to his wife again. Okay, so what does that tell us about gratitude and overcoming hedonistic adaptation? If it's the new car that no longer you have any care for, or the new house, or the new job, or whatever the new thing is that lost its newness, turn around and start finding the reasons why you got it in the first place, why you entered the relationship in the first place. Go back to where you started and start showing gratitude the way you used to when you first were engaged with whatever it is. Obviously, I'm going to be straight up honest. I don't really care about stuff. So I don't, if you lose your um, joy around your new car, I'm not super worried about that because cars come and go. Obviously, here at the Greater U, we're way more concerned about hedonistic adaptation occurring within your loving relationships. That's much more important. There's no comparison, right? So I don't really care. Sell the car, whatever. Or show some gratitude for it because it's been driving your butt around for a couple of years now, and show it some gratitude, right? Wash it, take care of it, and maybe you'll start appreciating it again. When we show gratitude, it pushes back against the adaptation and reminds us of the love we have. And here's the trick. How do you get a permanent honeymoon phase in your relationship? Romantic relationship is by showing gratitude on the daily that is sincere and heartfelt and intentional. When you do that, the person's going to feel your love, and they're going to respond and reciprocate that gratitude because they feel that love, and it reminds them of the day you met, right? So there you go. Our challenge to you is to find something in your life, particularly relationships, where you have found some adaptation has led to some neglect, and shift that by starting to replace the neglect or the whatever it is that you're doing, that you're just kind of ignoring it or whatever, with gratitude, intentional actions of gratitude, and see if you can start finding that love and strengthen those bonds deeper. If you do this every day with your loved ones or frequently with your loved ones, the honeymoon phase doesn't have to end. You can keep loving that person and feeling that love reciprocated. And the beautiful thing is that over time, as you do this, it deepens the relationship. So it goes beyond the honeymoon phase and becomes something much more stable, much deeper, and much more committed over time as you push back against that hedonistic adaptation. So, like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you could. It was good to see you guys, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good one.